You lost someone that I interviewed in the past, Phil Harris.
But he was without oxygen for over 12 hours, so it wasn't good. But
How old was he?
The high seas hold secrets, some thrilling, others tragically heartbreaking. Deadliest Catch, the hit reality series, has gripped millions with its raw portrayal of danger and survival. But behind the cameras lies a darker, untold side, one filled with devastating losses, shattered dreams, and haunting moments that never made it to air. From fatal accidents to emotional breakdowns and untimely deaths, these are the chilling truths the show didn't fully reveal. Buckle up, because these tragic details will leave you absolutely stunned and forever change how you see Deadliest Catch. Number 15. Melon Reyes. In the golden days of summer 2020, a wave of sorrow swept across fans and loved ones as tragic news broke. Melon Reyes, a beloved and hard-working deckhand featured on the famed fishing vessels Seabrook and Cape Caution, had passed away unexpectedly. At just 38, Melon was full of energy, grit, and hope for the future. While spending time at home in the quiet town of Whitefish, Montana, he suddenly collapsed from a severe heart attack. Emergency responders raced him to the hospital, where doctors fought to save him. He was placed on life support, but the damage to his heart was irreversible. Faced with an agonizing decision, his family had to let go the next day. The loss was beyond painful. Melon wasn't just a TV personality or a man of the sea. To his family, he was a warrior, tough, loyal, and determined. He was the one who faced every storm, on sea or in life, without blinking. His strength was the kind that held others up, and his heart was always in the right place. He was a son, a brother, a friend, someone who worked hard, laughed loudly, and loved deeply. By returning him to both the ocean he braved and the mountains he cherished, they allowed him to remain forever connected to the two worlds he loved most, eternally riding the waves and resting beneath the sky, part of nature's rhythm and beauty. Another character who contributed to the tragic list, who is a legacy to be remembered. Let's dive into the details. Number 14. Captain Phil Harris. Captain Phil Harris wasn't just a fisherman. He was a living legend, a storm in human form. As the fearless co-owner of the FV Cornelia Marie, his larger-than-life personality lit up every scene of Deadliest Catch, the hit reality series that takes viewers deep into the dangerous world of crab fishing in Alaska. With his gruff voice, wild humor, and bold honesty, Phil quickly became a fan favorite. People loved his no-nonsense attitude, his deep loyalty to his crew, and, above all, the fierce love he had for his sons, Josh and Jake. Then, in January 2010, during the heart of crab season, everything changed. While offloading his catch, Phil suffered a major stroke, a sudden, devastating moment that shocked his family, his crew, and millions of viewers. Yet, even in the hospital, his spirit shone through. He cracked jokes, spoke with his boys, and for a moment, it seemed like the tough captain might weather this storm too. But life had other plans. Just when recovery seemed within reach, Phil's condition worsened. On February 9, 2010, he passed away at only 53. But Captain Phil's journey didn't end there. His spirit still rides the waves through his sons, who have taken up the torch aboard the Cornelia Marie. With every voyage, every storm weathered, and every crab hauled in, they honor their father's legacy, keeping alive the story of a brave, kind-hearted man who lived and died doing what he loved. Another tragic loss in the crew came with the death of someone who was battling inner battles. Who was it? Let's find out. Number 13. Nick McGlashen. In December 2020, the Deadliest Catch community, cast, crew, and devoted fans, was rocked by heartbreaking news. Nick McGlashen, one of the show's most loved and unforgettable stars, had died at just 33 years old. Found in Nashville, Tennessee, Nick's life came to a tragic end due to a lethal combination of methamphetamine, cocaine, and fentanyl. It was a shocking blow that revealed the painful truth behind a man known for his strength, heart, and humor. Nick wasn't just another deckhand on the Summer Bay. He was the heartbeat of the crew. With unmatched grit, lightning-quick reflexes, and a sharp sense of humor, he brought energy and hope to even the harshest days on the Bering Sea. Yet beneath that tough exterior was a man battling demons no one could see. Nick openly shared his struggle with addiction, saying he had gone from being a fearless fisherman to what he called a full-blown junkie. In 2016, Nick took a brave step. He checked into rehab, determined to beat his addiction. He came back with fire in his soul, clean, focused, and ready to rebuild his life. For a while, it looked like he was winning. He returned to the sea, reunited with his crewmates, and reclaimed his role doing what he loved most. But addiction is not easily defeated. Despite his fight, Nick's story ended too soon. His death was more than a personal loss. It was a painful wake-up call about the hidden battles so many face in silence. To those who knew him, and those who only watched him from afar, Nick's life serves as a raw, real reminder of resilience, recovery, and the human cost of addiction. A fatal accident at the sea marks another tragic loss with the Deadliest Catch. Let's find out who it was. Number 12. Todd Cochettin. In February 2021, the crew of the Patricia Lee, one of the fishing vessels featured on the hit reality show Deadliest Catch, was struck by heartbreak. What began as another demanding day in the icy waters turned into a nightmare that would shake not only the boat, but also millions of viewers at home. Todd Cochettin, a young fisherman full of life and laughter, lost his life in a tragic accident. An 800-pound crab pot, essential gear used in the dangerous world of crab fishing, suddenly shifted and struck him with fatal force. This heart-wrenching incident happened during the show's 17th season, casting a dark shadow over the crew and fans alike. Crab fishing, often seen through the lens of thrilling television, is a perilous job that demands strength, grit, and the courage to face nature's wildest storms. Even the most experienced seamen can find themselves at the mercy of the sea in an instant. Todd wasn't just another face on screen. He was the soul of the boat. Quick with a joke, warm-hearted and always ready to lift spirits during the cold, exhausting hours at sea. His death wasn't just a loss to the crew. It was deeply personal to everyone who knew him. The tragedy aboard the Patricia Lee pulled back the curtain on the real dangers these fishermen face. While audiences are drawn to the excitement and drama of high-stakes fishing, this devastating event is a haunting reminder. Behind every episode are real people, real risks, and sometimes real loss. Let's dive into another tragic event that was a close call. Number 11. Katungan. In April 2022, the crew of the Patricia Lee found themselves caught in a terrifying moment that showed just how ruthless the sea can be. As their boat fought against the wild, churning Arctic waters, a sudden giant rogue wave struck with unimaginable power. The violent crash shook the entire deck and sent a massive steel crab pot flying. Before anyone could react, that heavy cage slammed down onto deckhand Katungan, trapping him painfully between the pot and the ship's railing. Panic broke out instantly. Crew members rushed to his side, but the damage was severe. Katungan lay motionless, writhing in sharp, unbearable pain. His injuries were so serious that even the show's producer, usually busy filming behind the scenes, dropped everything to help. Captain Rip Carlton, a seasoned mariner with years of tough sea experience, quickly understood the danger. Francis had likely broken his hip and pelvis, wounds that could prove deadly if not treated immediately. To make matters worse, the weather was rapidly turning against them. A fierce Arctic storm was closing in, bringing freezing winds and dark, icy skies. Time was running out fast. Against these harsh conditions, the U.S. Coast Guard launched a brave rescue operation. Fighting through the storm's fury, they managed to airlift Francis from the deck, pulling him to safety in a dramatic moment that shook everyone aboard. That day on the Patricia Lee wasn't just a sudden accident. It was proof of how quickly nature's power can strike and change everything. For this crew, it became another unforgettable scar in their ongoing battle with the sea. Another blow later hit the crew of Deadliest Catch. What happened? Let's dig into the details. Number 10. Devon Davis. Shortly after Katungan's accident, the Patricia Lee welcomed a new deckhand named Devon Davis. From the very beginning, it felt as though fate wasn't finished testing the crew. Then, one day, without any warning, Devon suddenly collapsed. The shock of the moment turned even darker when he started coughing up blood, sparking immediate panic among everyone nearby. What triggered this sudden and terrifying event remains a mystery. No one saw it coming, and the reasons behind it are still unclear. The entire crew was shaken to their core, their sense of safety and confidence deeply rattled by such an unexpected and serious injury. Thankfully, after a period of careful medical attention and rest, Devon slowly regained consciousness. His gradual return to the deck brought a wave of relief mixed with cautious optimism. But even as he went back to work, the heavy shadow of recent accidents loomed over the crew. These incidents weren't just random misfortunes, they began to chip away at the team's spirit. Each crew member felt the growing weight of fear and uncertainty pressing down on them with every passing day. What had once been a lively, energetic team now moved with quiet tension and wary glances. Unspoken questions filled the air. Could more accidents happen? Was it truly safe to carry on? The Patricia Lee's deck, once buzzing with confidence and camaraderie, had become a place of unease and worry. It was clear that healing from these setbacks would require more than just recovery of the body. It would demand time, trust, and a renewed hope to restore the crew to the strong, confident team they had once been. The crew of Deadliest Catch was on emergency mode again when they experienced occupational hazards. Let's dive into the details. Number 9. Injuries on deck. Crab fishing is one of the toughest and most dangerous jobs out there, and the crew members of Deadliest Catch know this all too well. Battling powerful waves and handling massive, heavy equipment on the open ocean pushes these fishermen to their absolute limits, sometimes beyond what the human body can endure. Take Corey Rhodes' story from the thrilling finale of Season 15. While working on deck, a huge crab pot, weighing nearly 1,000 pounds, suddenly slipped and crashed down onto his leg. The impact was so severe that it shattered 2 of the main bones in his lower leg, the fibula and the tibia. Imagine the intense pain he must have felt in that moment. Because his injuries were so critical, Corey had to be airlifted by the Coast Guard, rushing him off the boat to receive emergency medical care on shore. Francis Katungan also experienced a terrifying accident while aboard the FV Patricia Lee. On a stormy, rough day at sea, a heavy crab pot came loose and slammed into him, trapping him painfully against the ship's railing. The pressure was immense, and the danger was immediate. His crewmates sprang into action, providing first aid as best they could. But Francis's injuries were so serious that the Coast Guard had to send a helicopter to airlift him away for urgent treatment. These stories are just a glimpse into the harsh and risky world of crab fishing. One wrong move, and disaster can strike, leading to injuries that can change lives forever. This is the intense, raw reality behind the thrilling drama of Deadliest Catch. Another tragic moment is that which saw the final voyage of a veteran. Let's delve into the details. Number 8. Nick Mavar. Nick Mavar was a familiar and respected face to fans of Deadliest Catch, known for his many years working as a deckhand aboard the fishing vessel Northwestern. From the show's very first season back in 2005 through to season 17, viewers witnessed Mavar's steady, dependable presence on the crew. He was the kind of man who understood the sea deeply, its moods, dangers, and demands, as if it were a part of him. His calm attitude and vast experience made him a reliable and trusted figure in the harsh, unpredictable world of crab fishing in the icy, unforgiving Bering Sea. In late 2020, while still out on the ocean, Mavar faced a sudden and frightening health emergency. He suffered a ruptured appendix, a severe and painful condition that threatened his life and needed immediate medical care. During his treatment, doctors uncovered something even more serious, a cancerous tumor. This discovery added a new layer of difficulty to his fight for survival. Though he bravely battled through this tough period and recovered, feeling that the owners of the Northwestern had not provided proper medical support or been prepared enough for such emergencies, Mavar decided to take legal action. He filed a lawsuit against the company, aiming to hold them accountable for what he believed was neglect in handling his health crisis. Sadly, on a peaceful day in June 2024, Nick Mavar passed away naturally at the age of 59 while at a boatyard in Naknek, Alaska, a place well known to those who live the fisherman's life. His passing closed the chapter on a life marked by courage, hard work, and the harsh realities faced by those who risk everything on the sea. His story continues to inspire and remind everyone of the true cost and bravery behind commercial fishing's dangerous world. The unexpected passing away of a young deckhand was another tragic moment. Let's find out how it happened. Number 7. Ross Jones. Ross Jones was a young deckhand who first captured public attention when he appeared on the popular show Saga in 2020. From the very start, Ross impressed everyone with his hard work, dedication, and warm, approachable personality. His presence on the show didn't just entertain viewers, it also earned him the respect and friendship of the crew who worked alongside him. He was someone people could count on, always ready with a smile and a helping hand. Tragically, in June 2022, Ross passed away. The reasons behind his death have been kept private, honoring the wishes of his family during this incredibly tough time. This decision shows the deep respect everyone has for his loved ones as they grieve quietly and try to find peace. Ross's death left a profound silence, not only among those who knew him personally, but also among the many fans who admired him on screen. Beyond the spotlight, Ross was a caring partner and a devoted father to a young son, who now faces a future without his dad's guiding presence. The news of his passing sparked an outpouring of sadness and warm memories from friends, crew members, and fans alike. They remembered him not just for his skills and work ethic, but for the kindness and genuine warmth he shared every day. Though the details of his last days remain private, the mark Ross left on everyone's hearts is clear and lasting. Those who knew and loved Ross continue to honor his memory. Ross Jones may no longer be here, but his legacy of kindness and strength lives on. The tragic end of a promising captain is another mind-blowing moment that shook the crew of Deadliest Catch. Let's dig further into the details. Number 6. Blake Painter. Blake Painter first stepped into the spotlight on the popular reality show Deadliest Catch back in 2006. Initially, he worked quietly behind the scenes as the ship's engineer, the person responsible for keeping the vessel's powerful and complex machinery running smoothly. But Blake's story didn't end there. With grit and determination, he soon rose through the ranks and took charge as the captain of the fishing boat FV Maverick. Though his time on the show was short, just 10 episodes across the second and third seasons, he left a lasting impression on fans by showing what it truly takes to live and work in the harsh conditions of the Bering Sea. Even after stepping away from the TV cameras, Blake never abandoned the demanding world of crab fishing. He continued battling the cold, dangerous ocean, proving his deep love for the sea and the thrill of the challenge it offered. Life on those icy waters is tough and unpredictable, and Blake's dedication made it clear he was built for that life. Strong, fearless, and passionate about his craft. Sadly, Blake's journey was cut short. In May 2018, at only 38 years old, he was found dead in his home in Oregon. Around him, authorities discovered various substances, which sparked rumors that his passing might have been due to an overdose. But no official cause was ever confirmed, leaving an air of mystery around his untimely death. Blake Painter's life was a powerful story of courage, perseverance, and love for the sea. Through Deadliest Catch, he gave viewers a rare look into the brutal reality of one of the world's deadliest jobs. Though gone too soon, Blake's spirit and the memories he left behind continue to echo across the ocean waves and in the hearts of fans. The next crew member is one who had some tough financial storms through which he navigated. Let's find out who. Number 5. Jake Anderson. Captain Jake Anderson, widely recognized for his adventurous spirit on the fishing show The Saga, encountered some tough times in 2023. That year brought unexpected hardships when his fishing boat was taken away because of serious money troubles. The struggles didn't come out of nowhere. The previous 2 years, 2021 and 2022, had already been difficult. Both seasons for harvesting the valuable red king crab were canceled, cutting off a vital source of income and putting a heavy strain on his finances. As time passed, Jake opened up about another challenge behind the scenes. He revealed that a lot of the problems came from poor decisions made by his business partner, whose mismanagement played a big role in the downfall of their fishing operation. This added a layer of frustration and disappointment for Jake, who had worked hard to keep things afloat. Despite these setbacks, Jake's story didn't end there. Showing true generosity and support, fellow fishing legend Captain Sig Hansen stepped in to help. Recognizing Jake's talent and determination, Sig offered him a chance to join the crew of his boat, the Northwestern. This opportunity gave Jake a new lease on his fishing career and a chance to rebuild after the storm. In the world of commercial fishing, where the ocean's moods and the seasons dictate success, setbacks like these can feel devastating. But Jake Anderson's journey is a powerful reminder that even in the face of loss and difficulty, hope and new beginnings can still emerge, especially when there are friends ready to lend a hand. The perils of the sea are another tragic moment that seriously affects Deadliest Catch. Let's dive into the details. Number 4. Vessels lost. The Bering Sea is one of the most relentless and unforgiving places on Earth. Known for swallowing ships whole and testing the courage of even the most experienced fishermen, it is a powerful force of nature that shows no mercy. Its icy waters rage violently, hiding dangers beneath the surface while fierce storms rage above. Every fishing journey here becomes a desperate struggle, a battle between humans and the raw, untamed power of the sea. One tragic example is the story of the FV Big Valley. In January 2005, this 92-foot crab fishing boat met a terrifying end when it suddenly capsized and sank beneath the freezing waves. Of the 6 crew members on board, only 1 survived, while 5 lost their lives in this heartbreaking disaster. Investigations later revealed that the Big Valley was overloaded, carrying more crab pots than it was safely allowed. This extra weight made the boat unstable and played a key role in its sinking. Another chilling tale is that of the FV Scandi's Rose, which sank on the last day of 2019 near the remote and icy Sutwick Island in Alaska. On that day, the weather was brutal, freezing cold, heavy ice building up on the boat, and violent winds created nearly impossible conditions to survive. Of the 7 men fighting the storm aboard the Scandi's Rose, only 2 managed to escape alive. Their survival is a rare and haunting reminder of just how overpowering the sea can be. These stories are powerful warnings. The Bering Sea's cold, ice, and wildly changing weather create a deadly environment where even the strongest boats and bravest crews can be overcome in an instant. What about leaving Deadliest Catch? Leaving the entire crew and fans hit? Let's delve into the details of the controversial exit. Number 3. Josh Harris. Back in September 2022, a startling revelation shook many when news surfaced about a disturbing event from years earlier involving Josh Harris. It was disclosed that, back in 1998, when Harris was still a teenager, he had been involved in a sexual assault incident. This long-hidden, troubling part of his past suddenly came into the spotlight, sparking a wave of strong emotions and intense public discussion. To address the situation, Harris pleaded guilty, but only to lesser charges, avoiding conviction on the most serious accusations. Because of this, he received a sentence of 9 months and was ordered to undergo a psychological evaluation to better understand his mental and emotional state. The news sent shockwaves throughout the community and deeply affected fans and producers of the popular reality TV show Deadliest Catch, where Josh Harris was a familiar and well-liked figure. Due to the severity of the charges and the strong reaction from viewers, the show's producers made the difficult decision to remove Harris from the series. The fallout didn't stop there. His co-captain, Casey McManus, also decided to step away from the show, adding more drama and change behind the scenes. Moreover, their fishing vessel, the Cornelia Marie, which audiences had come to recognize and connect with, was also pulled from the series. This entire situation became a turning point, dramatically reshaping the future of the series and deeply impacting the lives of everyone involved. It sparked widespread conversations about responsibility and how revelations like these can ripple through careers, communities, and public perception. Another tragic moment is the personal allegations leveled against one of the crew members. Let's delve into the details. Number 2. Sig Hansen. In 2017, Captain Sig Hansen found himself caught in the middle of a troubling and serious controversy that shook both his private life and public reputation. His own estranged daughter stepped forward with shocking accusations, claiming that he had sexually abused her in the past. However, this was not the first time such claims had surfaced. Previously, A judge had carefully reviewed all the evidence and decided that the accusations lacked solid proof, ruling them as unfounded. Unlike criminal court, where the proof must be beyond a reasonable doubt, civil court uses a lower standard of evidence. This meant the accusations could still be examined and tested, even though criminal charges didn't move forward. Throughout the entire ordeal, Captain Hansen has consistently and strongly denied every accusation. He insists these claims are completely false and unfair. According to him, these allegations come from motives of personal gain, not from any search for truth or justice. Supporters argue this is a painful and tangled family dispute that has spilled out into the public, making it difficult to separate facts from emotions. This case remains a powerful reminder of how personal conflicts can become deeply intertwined with public judgment, legal battles, and questions of trust. The tragic details of Deadliest Catch is one that has always left fans in shock. Let's dive into the details of how the crew perceived the shocks. Number 1. A tribute to the fallen. The family behind Deadliest Catch has gone through many heartbreaking losses over the years. Losses that have deeply touched everyone watching and working alongside them. Each tragedy left a lasting impression not only on the crew, but also on the loyal fans who have followed their journey. These brave men and women faced the fierce and often dangerous Bering Sea with incredible courage and strength, showing the true meaning of never giving up. Their lives are a powerful example of what it takes to survive and keep going in one of the toughest jobs in the world. Fishing in the Bering Sea is no easy task. The risks they take are enormous, and the sacrifices are many. Some pay the ultimate price. The stories of those lost and those who keep battling the sea remind us of the harsh reality behind the seafood on our plates. It is a story of grit, hope, and the human spirit standing tall against nature's fury. Watching Deadliest Catch is more than just entertainment. It is a glimpse into a world where every moment counts, and every decision can mean life or death. Their journey tells us about sacrifice, bravery, and the strength that binds a community together, making us appreciate the true cost of life at sea. Which of these tragic details about Deadliest Catch blows your mind? We would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe.